right. So I decided it's kedai to spend a few minutes partaking in a Sudas Haidua for this very momentous day of the 4th of July. I can still hear the fireworks outside. And so I washed for a Suda. I'm going to eat a little bit of soup. Maybe have some chicken or something in honor of the day. Sunday, he's sitting He was sitting by his Suda. He's sitting He was sitting by his Suda. It brings about more of the understanding of spirituality. A little bit, have the right intentions, what we're trying to accomplish. So what's this all about? Let's sing it. Anybody have a tune? We should sing. Ay 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 ay. Ay 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 ay. Ay ay. Ay 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 da 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 Pischule Sharei Tzedek Avoy V'Maydeya Ze Hashalada Ivoy Ay ay decha ki ani soni vatehi lilishia. Ay decha ki ani soni vatehi lilishia. Ay even moasi ha bavoinim. Hava bava voisalerish pina, even wasi abai nemosalerish pina. May esadai nai haisazai lavenis mechai. I ono adai nai haishiana. Ay 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 ay. Ono adai nai hatzlichana. Ay ono adai nai haishiana. Ay 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 ay. Ono adai nai hatzlichana. Abba b'shem Adonai, Baruch Abba b'shem Adonai, Beirachnuchem mibeis Adonai, El Adonai v'Eloni Yisruchag b'Avoisem ad karnais hamizbah b'Abai, Eloi hai, Aroi memeka, Eloi hai, Aroy memeka Oye liato veyoideka Ba 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 Eloi hayay memeka Oy hoy diladoin Ki yeyita ba ba Ki yeyiliam Chava mavasdoi, oi hoidi ladoi nai, ki yita vavaviv, ki yili oim chasdoi, oi ki lechabata, oi vlahoidais, oi uleshimcha noel ezah. Ki lecha taiv lahoidois elishimchanu elizameb. Ay elishimchanu zamer ay kiki me yolam ve adoylam ay 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 ba 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 tokel ki lechatoyv lahoydais elishim chanu elizamer ay elishim chanu elizamer ay ki me yolam ve adoylam ay 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 ba 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 tokel. I would drink l'chaim, but there's no one here. Chat. I don't want to drink alone. So, hear the fireworks. I wanted to share an idea. I see a lot of people asking the question. July 4th, 1776 was Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, and the 4th of July. Is it a bad simon? Chas v'shalom? No, chas v'shalom. Obviously, common sense dictates to us that America is very, very good. But it can't be coincidence. Ay, 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 ay. So what is it? So what is it? How could it be that the first 4th of July, well, first of all, the independence, all the celebrations will be on the 2nd of July. That's neither here nor there. Oh, I have l'chaim now. There's someone here. But let's finish our... Let's finish what we're saying. Finish the Torah. So what's the connection between if July 4th, 1776 was Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, was a fast day, a Jewish fast day, 17th of Tammuz? We cannot say it's a negative thing. Hi, Malachi, how are you? Shalom. So what is it? And to me, it's a big yontiv. You know, I said in shul today, why are we saying Tachna? We should be saying Hallel. You know, well, I know a lot of Jews, Rahman al-Islam, who they say Hallel on Hayir. I'm not going to argue about that, yes or no. But if you're a Jew in America, you're an American Jew, a Jewish American, and you say Hallel on Hayir and you don't say Hallel on the 4th of July, there's something wrong there. I mentioned in shul this morning how the Navi Yirmiyahu teaches that we have to pray for the peace of the city where God sent us, because with their peace comes your peace, meaning with their success comes your success. And so we are bound. Hi, Reb David, how are you? Shalom. We are bound to, and it's all the more so. The same thing Rabbi Hanina Skana Kehanim said to Hevi Mispal B'Shloim Shel Malchus. His was Yahu, is to say Shel Mali Marach Ishis Re'eu Chaim B'Loi. If there wasn't the fear of the government, people would swallow each other alive. You know, anarchy would be a horrible thing. But the thing is both Yirmiyahu and Rabbi Hanina Skana Kehanim, but the thing is, both Yirmiyahu and Rabbi Hanina Skana Kehanim, who both Jeremiah and Rabbi Hanina, both lived under a American Jewish clergyman, American born. And Reb Gershom said, where we are treated as equals. Ad kedei kach, nowadays, we have a president of the United States. His daughter is Jewish. His son-in-law his daughter is Jewish. His son-in-law is Jewish. And not only they're Jewish, they're Shomrei Torah mitzvahs. They daven in Chassidish shul. And they are his treasured advisors. It's not just, who cares about them? No, he respects them. Our president respects are what a good people they are. So then how could it be that what's the correlation? The answer comes in the deep level of panemius, of the inner value of what our tradition teaches. The truth is, if you look in the Sfarim HaKadoshim, I remember I heard this from Tzvi Meir Zilberberg Shlita, but all the tzaddikim, they teach, there's 21 days of the 3 weeks, and there are 21 days of our holidays as Jews. So the inner essence of these 3 weeks of mourning are really days of joy. And that's what the Navi, the prophet Zechariah prophesied, that these days would be turned from days of sorrow to days of joy. And in a certain sense, the foundation of the United States was a fulfillment of that prophecy that Zechariah said, that the Navi Zechariah said, that this day of Shavuos B'Tammuz was transformed to a day of joy. With the foundation of this country, why? Let's think about this. What does Shavuos B'Tammuz commemorate? 5 things that happened. 2 of them we're going to focus on. Probably the 2 that people are, really 3, even 4. What was the 5th one, right? There were 4 things, right? Nishtabra Luchas. The tablets were shattered. Hovkair. The walls of the city of Jerusalem were breached. Batal HaTamid. The sacrificial cult came to an end. You know, there's a short story by Edgar Allan Poe, A Tale of Jerusalem. You can read about that. It was a story about Shavuos B'Tammuz. And nothing else that he did, other than that on Shavuos B'Tammuz, he burnt the Torah. Rahman Litzlan, God forbid. And all 4 of these have something in common. The thing that they have in common, this might sound heretical, but it's not. The Kotzker said any mitzvah can become a Avodah Zarah. What does that mean? That a mitzvah is Avodah Zarah? Doesn't mean, God forbid, we shouldn't be doing mitzvahs. No, God forbid, just the opposite. We have to, as our devotion to God, live lives of Torah and mitzvahs and follow halacha and live like Erlich Yidin. Of course, there's no question. The ways of someone like Philo, who didn't believe that, are heretical. That's not Yiddishkeit. Yiddishkeit is that we follow the ways of the Torah. We have to follow them. We're obligated to follow them. But they have to be used as a way to find devotion to God and to teach us lessons of how to live. You know, I remember Eid in Yerushalayim saying something, you could run over an old lady while you're busy saying Asher Yatzar or something. You know, if a colleague of mine at work says, he once heard someone who he respects say, they ask God to forgive us when our religion comes at the cost of other things. We have to find the balance. We have to get rid of religion. It means that we have to apply religion in the proper way. Because there's an essence, the panemius of Torah, the inner aspect of Torah that has to remind us of the unity of God at all times. And that's the purpose of doing mitzvahs. And if we forget that, and we lose our faith, that's it. What's the point? Because I'll read that. It says, please wait while trying to reconnect. Connection is unstable. And so, more power to you. Thank you for breaking those rules. Why? Because the point was to teach the people a lesson, not to be attached to the external form in a way that causes us to forget the inner essence and unity. But rather, all external forms are a means to an end. It was Min Shemayim, and it should wake us up to fast. It's the son of Chareel. Become reunited. To offer ourselves as a sacrifice. To sacrifice our own flesh and blood. Our own body. The fat and blood inside of our own body. Sometimes the breath is a foul odor from fasting sometimes. And that should be considered Reich Nechoach. The Mekubalim says, the Rashash says, the Mekubalim say. Why? Because, again, the connection is unstable. Anybody? What's special about the United States? It was the first country founded on an idea, not on a racial, national identity. The seeming ideas of dichotomy in the world are all an illusion. And the truth is, with Shavis Hashem L'Negdi Summit, everything is equal. And it's our job to reveal that equality, that equanimity that's hidden. And so in a certain sense, the United States of America fulfills, again, the connection is unstable. To be a good example for everyone else. It fulfills the idea of being a light unto the nations that we were supposed to do as Jews, and we have failed. But we still can do, and our parts in the foundation of this country show that in that way who helped to found this country, to learn the inner truths. How many people watched the video that I posted of Vin Price? It's a true story. And there was Alexander Zuntz. What happened to him? The Hessian soldier. Watch the video I posted earlier today. And maybe you'll find a better copy if you look somewhere else. But there's Alexander. 3 years later. The truth is that, yes, Rabbi Sheshes did go to Connecticut by his shver. Stayed there for a while. And he did come back to New York. Into Mesiras Nefesh to perform the wedding of a Hessian soldier, Alexander Zuntz, a Yid, an Erlich Yid, Alexander Zuntz. How'd that happen? Like he did with most of the mitzvahs we cannot do today. Most of the 613 are in the base of Mikdash. And so right now, Leo Navi, Michal, Sarah Godel, whoever it is, maybe they're the same person, bringing sacrifices in the temple in heaven, and we have a share in that. We learn Torah and so forth. Rashi says in Malachi. There's a Gemara in Menachos like that. because these are heavenly matters. All the Nevi'im said that God doesn't need our sacrifices. We need them. It's for us. And so that lesson is a lesson that's learned on Shivas B'Tammuz. And an actualization of that lesson is here in America. Like Bono, he always says America is not a place, America is an idea. So I was very offended when President Obama changed the name of Mount McKinley, because that's indicating that America is no more than a piece of land. So we go back to the ancient native names to call it Denali. But when we call it Mount McKinley, we're naming it after an American president. You know, to have a pachim ponim to someone whose seat he's sitting in. You know, I hope that President Trump brings back the name McKinley. But we could talk about that. Because the idea of America is an idea that transcends all these things. I mean, one of the first treaties that America made was with the Lenape people here in this area, and even offered them an opportunity if they wanted to make their own state and send their own representatives to Congress. They chose not to, but in its foundation, the United States recognized no insistence on one particular religion, one particular race, but rather that there should be an idea in the brotherhood of all of mankind, that we can maintain our own personal traditions and cultures, but also be part of the greater whole. Because our own personal cultures don't clash with that. What's wrong with that? We can, and so too, that's a message in religion in general. Like Rabbi Bar Tzadok always says, religion is more for man than it is for God, and that's how God wants it. And it doesn't matter so much to get so obsessed, this religion, that, blah, blah, blah. What matters is, how do we live? Do we treat other people with respect? Do we seek peace? Do we learn the lesson of Sefer Malachi, of the book of Malachi? I see someone here, Malachi. Do we learn that book and see the message that God is honored everywhere in the world? And we shouldn't think that we're better than anyone else just because we honor God in the way that God revealed to us. Even we know it's true, and even we believe others are false. That doesn't give us a right to be arrogant. That doesn't give us a right to be disrespectful. That doesn't give us a right to be anything other than humble. And so that message of Asher Shabarta, Yasher Kechacha Shabarta, that God thanked Moses for breaking the tablets of the Ten Commandments. And so to America broke the bounds of oppression, the chains of oppression that had existed for so long, broke the need to follow a king and so forth, and restored the power to the people. And I think it's valuable. Remember that great symbol that we have in Philadelphia of the Liberty Bell that's broken with a crack in it. And it has under the posuk, to proclaim liberty to all the inhabitants. A verse in Leviticus. That really the essence of Torah is liberty. And God shall mend thy every flaw, thy liberty and law. Yes, we need to have an established government to maintain the peace. But that's where liberty comes. Liberty comes not from the government. Liberty comes from God. And our true al tikre cheres al tikre charos el cheres charos el al tikre charos el cheres, that the word of God was engraved into the luchos, into the tablets. Don't read that it was engraved, but that there was freedom on those luchos. And so too, when the luchos were broken, it was that aspect of that liberty, of freedom, the inner message of Torah, not to be obsessed with symbols, with Platonic ideas, but to invest in the true inner essence of what there really is. Not that the Platonic forms are pointless, but the point of them is to engage into that which is the inner essence and not to forget about that. And so to America, time and time again, has forgotten about it, but time and time again we come back and there's a revival. Like Glenn Beck said, when America sought to be on God's side, they were always successful. When they were sure that God was on their side, that's when things started to go wrong. They were sure there's whatever, manifest destiny and all these things, and they thought that they were chosen by God and therefore they could do no wrong. Then there's problems. But when there's humility, I can say one thing. I'm very happy that Donald Trump is the president. I'm more happy that Hillary Clinton is not the president. Donald Trump has presented himself throughout his life as a man filled with pride, even with arrogance. And I truly believe that his experience being in the White House has humbled him. You can see it on his face. He's a different person. It transformed him. It transfigurated him. And we can all do that. We can all be transformed. We don't have to be president to be transformed, to be transfigurated, to be humbled. And we can be humbled in a way that's positive, in a matter of growth and happiness and strength and goodness. It's not our job to break these things, to be the iconoclasts. But it's our job to take those things that we are supposed to have, embrace them, and seek the inner essence and find the wholeness. Like the Kutzker again said, there's nothing more whole than a broken heart. Like Nishbar v'nidka l'kim l'sivse. Zivche l'kim. That God accepts by virtue of strict justice our contrition, as I discussed earlier this week. The power of contrition, the power of the broken heart, something that's more whole than anything else. And so, in that merit, we should be worthy to purify our hearts to serve you with truth, Almighty God, and to be worthy to see this Galus Kvod Shemayim, to see the revelation of the glory of heaven. V'nigla Kvod Hashem, v'ro chol bosu yachdav kifi Hashem diber. As the prophet Isaiah says, and the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has declared it. Baruch Adonai L'olam Amen V'Amen. Blessed be the Lord forever, amen, and amen. May the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart find favor before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. V'nigla kavod Hashem, v'roi chol busa yachdav, v'roi chol busa yachdav. Kifi Hashem diber. live to hoyer, Bruli Eloikim, B'riach nuchain chadaish bekirbi, live to hoyer, Bruli Eloikim, B'riach nuchain chadaish bekirbi. Oy life to hoye, Broli Eloikim, B'riach nuchain chadaish bekir bi. Oy life to hoye, Broli Elohim, B'riach nuchain chadaish bekir bi. Ay al tashlichayni melfonecha, al tashlichayni melfonecha, B'riach kadshecha, B'riach kadshecha, al tikach mimeni, hoshivoli, sisai nishecha, B'riach nadiva yisimchayni, hoshivoli, sisai nishecha, B'riach nuchain chadaish bekir bi. Ay 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 ay. Ay 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 ay. Ay ay da 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 da. V'tah li baini li avdecha be'emes heilige b'shefer Mahatzich Zayeli V'tah li baini li avdecha be'emes V'tah li baini li avdecha be'emes Oy v'tah li baini li avdecha be'emes V'tah li baini avdecha be'emes. We have to understand, purify our hearts to serve you with truth. It's the emes that it will purify our hearts, meaning that's the tool. Purify our hearts to serve you with truth. God. V'tah li baini li avdecha be'emes heilige b'shefer mehatzich azayli. Was noch kann man sagen? Was noch? Mizmor leDavid Adonai roi lo yachzar b'nais teshe yarbid tzayni al maimen yichos nadleini nafshi yeshoi v'ev yan chayni b'maglei tzedek l'man shemoi Igaham ki ay laich b'gahai tzalmo ves lo yiraro ki ato imodei shivtecho mishantecho haimo yinachmini tach lefonai shilcha neged tzoroi Dishanta v'shemen oishi koi sirevaya Achtoi v'chesed yirefini kol yimei chayai V'shavti b'veis adin orach yomim. Veel drinken l'chaim. Anybody have anything else to say? I think I'm going to end the stream now. We have 2 people watching. Anything you want to discuss? L'chaim, let's get l'chaim. We have 2 more guests here. The 4th of July. I don't like the idea of drinking on the 4th of July. Certainly not to get drunk. But I know some tzaddikim say we drink for clarity also. Because this is a day we should be thinking and be thankful and to have a karsa tov. Chaim to shalom. Chaim levracha. We should be zoiche to experience the freedom of what it means and to truly celebrate this momentous day and find its panemius, find the inner essence of this day. Not the nonsense of barbecues and fireworks, not that there's anything wrong with that. But again, that's the exterior platonic aspect. We need to have an internal, intimate connection to this day and to every day of our lives. But especially when we have special days, which are in a sense, like Rabbi Heschel said, cathedrals in time. When we come to these sanctuaries in time, and we take a moment to stop and think, and to meditate upon why we're here, what we're here for, and to be thankful, and to be positive. Think about, they asked Rabbi Miller, and he said to put out an American flag on the 4th of July, lahachis, just to upset all those people who lack the gratitude of what a great place we live in. How important gratitude is, and to pray for peace. Pray for the peace of the city where I sent you. That's what Jeremiah said. Right? Yirmiyahu Navi said. That's what we got to do. It's what we're here for. To recognize the inner qualities of aspects of life. Not to be fooled by the exterior platonic levels. And so to have a Sudas Haidua, it's not a Sudas Mitzvah. I don't have a Shtreimel, I have a Kolpik. And because to Lahoidis Lahalel, to have a time of Haidua, of Thanksgiving, it's a valuable thing. And so therefore we should be worthy to all of these aspects. Anything anybody wants to say? Want a question or something? Baruch Hashem, we gathered here to celebrate America. the concept that's really, like I said earlier, those who missed it, the fulfillment of the foundations of everything that the Torah stands for. And so that's why it's so apropos, even in the midst of the 3 weeks, because the inner panemius of the 3 weeks is revealed in joy. That's what I started off by saying. Let's remember these things. You know, there's a minhag to eat an egg, Erev Tisha B'Av. We don't have it this year. What's the inyan of the egg? The egg also takes 3 weeks to hatch. When you think of these inner aspects of the egg, potential, bringing from the potential to the actual, that's also what Foundation of America was about. Not everything was as perfect as they wanted it. And so too we have to recognize it as well. We can't be purists. We have to accept things as they are and recognize God within the Hester Panim. Even when things seem to be hidden, we have to recognize God. But now, things are so good. You know, sometimes we're so used to things being negative, we can't handle when they're good. Now things are so good, Baruch Hashem. And so, of course, we have to thank God for all the good things that are happening now, for how much better the economy is. Don't be looking for problems. Count your blessings. Don't count your worries. Count your happiness. Don't count your troubles. Focus on the good things. There's so many good things going on right now. It's so wonderful what's happening right now. And if we're complaining, that means we're not ready for the Geula. But if we're thankful and we develop an attitude of gratitude, to be so thankful how everything, even when it's difficult, we might be suffering from anxiety or depression, or we might have problems. But let's try to focus on the good things and strengthen ourselves. And find strength in God. Right? Remember in that movie, the guy said he's a coward, and he said, Rabbi, how can I get courage like you? And Rabbi Sheshes said, I get my courage from God. Ask him, he has plenty to go around. You think you can't accomplish? You can't, but God can. And he'll give you the power if that's what he wants. We have to recognize things that are the will of God. And so, too, all of the horrible things that happen in Shavuos or B'Tammuz are the will of God. And it's also the will of God that we should fast and mourn for those things, but also that we should be transformed by those events and get woken up and recognize what's really going on. And focus our energies for positive things, to bless each other, to have love and care and peace, prosperity and goodwill. And that makes everything better. We can create even in the darkest depths of hell. No matter what we're going through, we can create a positive atmosphere even for a little bit. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of energy and takes a lot of courage. None of these things we can do on our own, but God can do everything. And it's so clear the hand of providence in the foundation of this country, the Hashgacha Pratis, like Washington spoke about constantly. Whenever he spoke about God, he referred to God as providence. Hashgacha Pratis. What is Hashgacha Pratis? Kalav Rebbe Shlita tells a story about Rebbe Uri Mistralisk, the fiery seraph Mistralis, great tzaddik. There were two Erlich Hasidim whose Rebbe passed away, and they were looking for a new Rebbe, and they went to Rebbe Uri, and they asked him, will you be our Rebbe? And he said, all right, walk with me. He said, look over there. He said, I want to ask you something before. I said, look, Do you believe in Hashgacha Pratis? Do you believe in divine providence? They said, yeah, of course we do. No question said. So let's look out the window. There's a wagon full of hay. He said, do you believe that God decreed from the 7 days of creation, 6 days of creation, which blade of grass, which piece of straw should be above or below, to the left or the right of which, and exactly which moment, which piece of the straw should fall off the wagon, exactly what point, the exact latitude and longitude to the finest point of exactly where the piece of straw would fall, and exactly what second, what not only what hour, what minute, what second it should fall. And they said, no, that's too hard for us to imagine. And so he said, get out of here. I don't even want to look at you. You're heretics. You're Happy Carson. They start to think about it. And they said, to a human being, gold is very valuable. And silver is less valuable. And so a human being will guard gold more than silver. And copper less than that, but still guard it. And wood less than that. And a piece of straw you won't even care about. But to God, gold is not worth anything, or it's worth everything. It's worth just as much as that piece of straw, and God cares about each and every one of us. And that's what's going on. That's what we have to think about. How, and when they thought about that, they came back to Aburi. He was makabel them. He brought them in. He's makar of them. He accepted them as his chasina. The thing is, I think Washington was a man who recognized God's divine providence in everything he did. He wasn't a big church goer. He would leave church early, Washington. He would argue with the pastor. But he believed in divine providence. And so too, we don't have to be too religious. We have to be involved with God. It's not always about being religious. Yes, we have to keep Torah mitzvahs, of course. We have to keep halacha as Jews. No question about that. That's not what I'm saying. But at what price, at what cost? How to find balance. And that's the message of America. And that's the difference between America and everywhere else in the world. Because America is a land of liberty and freedom. So other countries, the government, the religion, it's all mixed together, and it's all a big mess. America's not like that. And so there's freedom of religion, there's freedom to explore, freedom to try different things. Should I keep going? I'm going to get something to eat. No. I'm not wearing a shtreimel either. I don't wear a shtreimel on the 4th of July. But just for the Suda Saidoa, I put on my kolpik. And I'm not wearing white socks. I'm wearing my regular weekday clothes. I just put on a kolpik and a kaftan. We don't have to do everything the same. Don't have to nochmach. We can be our own people. This is an important lesson. You don't have to just be a nochmacher. You don't have to copy. Find your own path. Every day we can think about God and be thankful. Talk about Hashgacha Pratis. And if sometimes putting on certain clothes helps us to get into a certain mood. Suda Saidor is a personal lahaydis lahalel, a personal haidoah, a personal thanksgiving. Because to me personally, it's very valuable. You can do your own thing. I'm not telling you to be like me. We have to keep halacha. That's what we have to do. It's true. We don't say. I didn't say Hallel today. Certainly not with a bracha. But like I said, if you're going to say Hallel in here, not on the 4th of July, I don't say Hallel in here. I say Tachnun here. But Allah is coming. But everything, if you do, then what's in America is much, much greater. Because, like I said, America is the fulfillment of all the concepts of Torah in a deeper way. We have to find ways to be positive and blessing each other. And you're asking, so Ger square bells don't wear white socks anyway, and Ger they don't wear strimer. It's not a spottic I'm wearing; it's a kolpik. So it's because it's Yom de Pagra. Same question, like Chmishas B'Shvat. It's also not a yontiv. It's very questionable to celebrate Chmishas B'Shvat the way we do. The makor of doing it comes from a place that involves a lot of tumah. Really comes from Katshatz, if you really want to learn about it. But it said he can do it. Why? Because why not? They don't do exactly the form of the Sefer Pri Eitz Hadar, but they still do. They make a tish for Chamishas B'Shvat. Why? Well, because they do. I get something to eat. I'll say one thing. Let me heat up this food. And I want to. I'll say one thing, but I didn't eat fish. The Satmarov was very makbid not to eat fish stam. But I didn't eat fish. But it's I was reading that in the Thanksgiving, and they actually have a service for Thanksgiving, which Gershom Sheshis did. Sorry, I'm an American. I'm a fourth generation American. So that's the way I do things. It's not something I do every year, but I felt like it today. I felt his service. I felt like I wanted to share a message, and I felt I could share the message better in the midst of a Suda than Stam. I don't need to apologize, and I don't need to defend myself. It's nicht conchet. And also, where is WEAR? is it's unteen. What you spell WHER is V. So continuous reveals. It's not. It's nicht kana vayra. You know, there's Lubavitcher Yidden who eat fleischigs on Tisha B'Av. This year we're all eating fleischigs on Tisha B'Av, but that's a problem. That's Kneged Halacha. There's nothing Kneged Halacha with the 4th of July, unless the 4th of July actually falls on Tisha B'Av. So let's eat a little bit. So I thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and all the best.